Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Mint Door. I'm Dr. Laura Schwint.
And I'm Dr. Karen Tyndall.
And today we are welcoming as our guest, Lynda Sherman. To know Lynda is to know someone who lives an authentic life. She talks fast, laughs loud, and cannot turn away a slice of cheese pizza.
Lynda is a practicing clinician, CDA and EFDA, and she has accomplished the tasks of being a writer, speaker, and consultant in the dental profession. She is the founder of the non-profit organization, the Dental Oral Care Project, the owner and consultant with EcoSmiles Dentistry, and the owner of the eco-friendly dental subscription box, Get Mouthy.
She is a strong advocate for saving teeth and saving the planet, and you will find her advocating for both topics. On a personal note, her husband of 23 years, Jeffrey, and their vivacious 10-year-old daughter, Savannah, enjoy spending time together boating on Lake Erie. We can't wait for you to hear this episode. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome to the Mint Door Podcast. I'm Dr. Laura Schwint.
And I'm Dr. Karen Tyndall.
And today we have Lynda Sherman with us. Lynda, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Of course, it's my pleasure, ladies. I'm so excited.
Yay.
Cool. We're going to jump right in, and we're going to start off with our rapid fire questions. It's kind of a this and that game. So let's get straight into it. Lynda, do you hair dry or air dry your hair?
Oh my gosh, you know my hair. It's a curly mess. Like, it just air dries. It's all natural. Totally. I haven't seen a hair dryer, I don't know how long. We use hair dryers in my house to heat up hockey sticks. You gotta take the blades off of them. Anyhow.
Yep, that's awesome. That's a great use of a hair dryer. I've seen that happen in my house too, so I get it. All right, heels or tennies?
Oh, I'm getting old these days. Tennis shoes.
Yeah. Yoga pants or jeans?
Oh, yoga pants. Woo, I love them.
All right. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Oh, a night owl by far. Ooh.
And if you had to go on a trip, would you be going to the mountains or the ocean?
Oh, the ocean. Absolutely.
I've seen pictures of you at the ocean quite often.
I love the ocean. There's just something about the body of water. I love the science. I love the earth. I mean, obviously, I love the ocean.
Yeah.
Feeling my skin.
You love the ocean in many ways, and we'll get to that in the podcast. Yes. Awesome. Breakfast or no breakfast?
Coffee. Breakfast.
Good answer.
Would you like to eat in or would you like to eat out?
Eat out, because then I don't have to cook it or clean it.
Yay. How about movies or Netflix?
Oh, son of a gun. You know what? I'm lazy, so I like Netflix, but I really enjoy movies. I like good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. About movies.
Yeah, awesome.
When you're reading, would you prefer a book or a Kindle?
A book. And a highlighter and some Post-it notes.
Awesome. How about cat or dog?
Oh, I love our kitty cat. If they were like Cheeto, I would say a cat, but ultimately at the end of the day, dog.
Awesome. I love that name, by the way.
He looks like a Cheeto.
Oh.
If you when you're going out to eat out, would you be ordering a burger or a salad?
Oh, I've been a vegetarian since I was 12 years old, longer than probably most people been alive at this point. So salad.
Yay. All right. And then on the weekend, do you prefer Saturdays or Sundays?
Saturdays, because I know tomorrow's Sunday.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that gets us nice and warmed up and gives us some hints as to what we're going to be talking about today, too. So I love that. Thanks for letting us get to know you a little bit. What I'd like to talk about first is you really believe in the importance of authenticity, both in personal life and professional life. Can you highlight for us why that's so important to you?
You know, it just feels good. It feels good to be yourself. Sometimes you have to discover yourself, right? I believe that authenticity lies in your inner voice, right? You have to learn to live, or just to feel those gut instincts, right? And once you learn to feel it and to listen, nothing feels better than being yourself. And there's just so much comfort in it. And I enjoy being myself. So there's so much truth to dance like no one's watching, because it's free and it feels good. And I think that everybody should feel good, right? So that's why it's important to me.
I love that. I love that you connect it to how you feel, because ultimately, I mean, that's what makes us do things repeatedly, is if something feels good.
Absolutely. We've all tried to change ourselves, right? I mean, we've heard of, the good old imposter syndrome and things like that. And it takes so much effort. I mean, agree? I mean, we've all done that, I'm sure, at this point. It just takes so much effort and energy to not be yourself. And there's no fun in that. I mean, I've had to do that. I mean, I have a quite, colorful personality sometimes. And I feel like, I've had other people make me feel like I've needed to tone it down or change it a bit. And I've done that. And you know what? It's uncomfortable. Mm. At some point you realize, I mean, seriously, like, why would I even do that to myself? I mean, it's just stupid, right? It's stupid. I mean, I don't live for anybody else. I want to have fun. So be yourself, darn it. Just listen to your inner voice. The first thing that comes to mind, that's what it is. Go do it.
Oh, great advice. Thank you. Woo.
Yeah. One thing you said when you were talking then is about what makes you feel good. And we know that what makes you feel good personally is part of like living an environmentally conscious lifestyle. So we were wondering if you have any tips that you could share with us about how we can all live a little bit more of being conscious of the environment, but also in regards to like our personal selves, like how can, like when we look after ourselves, how can we be environmentally conscious as we do that?
Oh, I have so many tips, but let's just start with like basic listeners, like we're at home, right? One of, I think, the most important things to realize that we need to change is just to eliminate the plastic bottle. I know that recycling is important, but we need to really eliminate the plastic bottle. We love the environment, and your trash isn't going anywhere. Like, it does not disappear. There's no fairy that comes and makes it poop. What your taxes is paying for rent for a landfill to hold your garbage, and there's a billion of us doing it. And so be accountable for that, right? And by being accountable, the first approach, I think, is eliminate the plastic bottle, however that looks like in your household. In my household, it looks like shampoo. And I need good hair care. I mean, you have seen my hair. I need good hair care. I don't go crazy with it. It just needs to have, good moisturizers, what have you. But I find that shampoo bar, it's really great. It really is great. And I've made other alternatives, right? But think about your laundry detergent. So you can change to those sheets. I've done that, right? So eliminating those plastic bottles. I mean, even when it comes to your cleaners, things like that, I think that's the very first start that the concept of is eliminating those plastic bottles. Now we're going to get into recycling. So absolutely, if you recycle, just take it up one more notch and recycle your glass jars. Take the metal lids off, right? You have to separate those, but plastic goes on plastic. If it's little plastic, you put it in other little plastic containers. So I know we don't have all day, but I think that's just the most simple tips that you can do at home is try your best to eliminate the plastic bottles at all in general, however that looks like. Get to more of those soap bars, right? And then the other things that you can recycle those, reuse them, and then you can slowly become more aware, and then you can transition to bigger and better things from there. Good tips?
Good tips. I love them. And I would love to see at conferences no water bottles. Plastic water bottle.
I agree.
Right?
Yes,
like totally. Glasses, bring your own reusable water bottle, that type of thing, right? Wouldn't that be great?
Well, like a couple of our colleagues, and I've even made a post about this one time, right? Like whenever they travel somewhere, there is a very distinctive photo that they take, right? There's one that has her hat. I got another friend who does like this bathroom, whatever. Well, I've done the same. I take my water bottle. It is a metal water bottle. Usually I get my dental boss because, I usually most of the time travel for dental, and plus I like it. But always at the airports, I find out most airports now, they have, the refueling stations, I'm going to call it, And I was at with my daughter at, I think, a trampoline park or something like that recently. And same thing, they had one for the refillable water bottle. And I love that. So absolutely. I mean, we had water fountains everywhere. I mean, that was just the norm. And so let's do the same concept, but for the bottles. And absolutely, we should eliminate like the disposable ones too at the grocery store. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Great tips. Super easy. I love it. And, you bring up a good point there that you do a lot of traveling. You are a busy entrepreneur and you're also a clinician. You're also a mom. You're a wife. I mean, how do you keep it all in check? What are your go-to tips for keeping the synergy going?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I just go. There is absolutely no organization to this hot mess. I have tried to Pinterest things and I've tried to do the charts and the timelines and sketch stuff out. You know what? That takes time. That takes time to do that. I've even done like that home prep stuff, like with the groceries. You know what? I got to read the freaking ingredients, learn how to prep it. And I got to like open the bags and chop them up. And you know, I can just go to the grocery store and have that stuff ready. I did not find that to be helpful. So I wish I had some really strong tips. But you know what? I just keep my sanity because I keep my eye on the prize, right? You know what? My daughter's very important to me. So I want to raise her to be a really wonderful, lovely lady who contributes, to our earth. I mean, whatever way that it is, she could be a scholar, an engineer, whatever. But I want her to be great. So I keep my eye on the prize. So I just make sure that I have the time in the day, however that flexibility looks like. And Karen, you've kind of helped me with that too, right? Of not having so much mom guilt if I don't always give my time to her, but, I need to know when and where to do that. And she is my number one, regardless. I have a great spouse. So I've been with my husband for 28 years, that we have a 10-year-old. But I have to admit, so I give kudos to my husband. Couldn't do it without him because since you have a kid, you need support when you have a kid because, especially, when they're so young. And the fact that, he supports me and lets me do my thing and doesn't get involved. So, that's nice to do. And I like to eat, and so they're probably to go to the grocery store. So I got to put that in my day too. So again, there's no timeline for that. Google Calendars does help, but I wish there was some really great tips that people could be like, oh, I'm going to write that down. Nope. Every day I just fly by the seat of my pants, but they keep my eye on the prize, and I know what I want. So every day you got to squeeze in something. And I do write to-do lists. So I guess I do that on my phone. I do have the to-do list. So when I have those aha moments or, I got to do that, I do write those down to make me accountable for. But, just wing it, right? Be authentic. Didn't I say that already?
Yes. Yes. Well, you said, you said, I don't have a tip that anyone would write down, but I think this is beautiful. You fly by the seat of your pants, keeping your eye on the prize.
Yeah.
So you go with the flow and you just keep going.
I just keep going. You got things to tackle and put it on your list and, but you're on the prize.
I think that's great advice. Thank you.
I think the other bit out of that people will probably find reassuring and a helpful reminder is that Pinterest lifestyle that we see that is carefully curated by people, you're not in the minority if you're not doing it.
Right.
Like that's kind of like a dream world that people are putting pictures together to create.
Now, if you did see my daughter's 10th birthday party, though, that was Pinterest quality. Yeah, I don't know if you caught that on Facebook, but I got some good ideas. And again, as a mom, that's just what you do, right? You stay up till like 1 o'clock, getting your Cricut out and cutting stuff, ironing stuff, and making it extra special. But
well, there's room for a little Pinterest in everyone's life, right?
You got it. You got it.
So earlier this morning, I went out and did some early shopping, and I was in the store and I was buying moisturizer and toothpaste. And then I know, Lynda, that you have some really good opinions and information and advice for people about like the chemical awareness of what is in the beauty products that we use, and how next time I go to the store, could I make a more informed choice about what I'm actually purchasing?
Oh, you know what? I love how you said opinions, because this is where, of course, we all have opinions. I am self-aware of chemicals that you can consume and chemicals that you lather on your body and so many other things. And you know what? And as we become more acclimated to things, you have a stronger, awareness to that. So, I've transitioned into like the organic world many, many years ago, between conventional produce and just kind of keep my eye on those things. Soda, of course, we do not consume in our house for many reasons, and being the chemicals part of that. But also, like, got to now think about your beauty care. And right now, I am like trying to find a good lipstick, right? A good lipstick, but I do not want to go to the store. And Karen, great question. Where do you go? So, I'm an internet shopper. I'll be totally guilty. I'm somebody who's putting those retail shops, out of business. Maybe I can go to like Ulta or something. I don't know, or Sephora. I don't know, but I just go on the Amazon, or even just on the internet, and I find pure beauty products. I'm not somebody, I don't use a lot of, beauty products in general. I like to have my freckles shine through. What? To cover up all my freckles with all that foundation and stuff. It's just it's not me. I don't know. And of course, I'm a redhead, so I'm going to have rosy cheeks. But I've become aware that, when you have lipstick, you're licking that stuff. You're literally consuming these things. And if you knew what those things were, you would not consume them as individuals. And there's tons of them. There's probably 20 plus ingredients in lipstick alone. And I will say, I probably have, probably close to like 8 shades alone of red, because I've been trying to find this red that goes with my logo. And I've been trying to find something that sticks, and I hate it because I just don't like the way that it feels. But when I had this awareness that, first of all, it just doesn't stay on. Why does it stay on? Because I think I'm a lip licker, like I'm licking my lips all the time. I don't know. It just doesn't stay on well. Why is it not? Because I'm consuming it. Somehow I'm licking it and consuming it, and it's in my body. And then I realize what ingredients that it has. I'm like, no way, I'm done with all these red lipsticks until I find something. So, there's just an awareness, and it's an opinion. It's you do you, right? You do you, whatever that it is. But like even sunscreen, those are like, that's a concern. Just even hair products. I've become aware with my daughter, my 10-year-old, who she's not a redhead, but I think she's got some of my skin in her because she gets a little dermatitis. And we realized that these products, these detanglers that smell like very berry, and they've got this cartoon octopus on the front, man, the reaction that her skin gives to her, it's awful. And you know what? It's absorbed. And don't people say that your skin is like this biggest organ? And I'm sure, ladies, it's going to lead up to, of course, a product that I have in general, which is, as dental people, we have toothpaste. And you know what? We can jump into the fact that, people most of the time, most people have gingivitis, right? Most people have gingivitis, and gingivitis is an open wound in your body. So just like cuts, right? Cuts that can get infection inside of them in your skin. Same thing with your mouth, right? So your gum tissue with gingivitis, it's bleeding, certain sites are, and that's direct access for any chemical to get straight into your body. So dental floss is a chemical, and so is all that toothpaste. And I really didn't realize, I did not realize about the dental floss until just, a few years ago, realizing that almost all floss is made out of Teflon. Well, Teflon is a toxic plastic. You don't have to dig deep for that. It's well known to be a toxic plastic, and it's Teflon, and that's what your dental floss is. And then you read the ingredients. I don't know, like in my mind, floss was floss, right? Like an orange or an apple, right? It was floss. Well, it's not floss. It's a Teflon plastic strip. And then with chemicals, there's at least, like 6 chemicals, and they're waxers and all other kinds of stuff that's a chemical. And again, now you're bleeding, and voila, there's this, chemicals that you're putting right into your bloodstream. It's really not pulling out plaque either. We can go that route too, because it's so slippery, because it's all waxy. That's really not doing its job to begin with, other than just putting chemicals into your body. And then same thing with the toothpaste. Reading these toothpaste ingredients, and then alone, if you really realize what's in them, like you can't pronounce them for a reason. And I have people, of course, talk about how much more delicious, like, it tastes good. Well, for one, that's why you don't recommend kids at a certain age to use toothpaste. It's not for any other reason other than it tastes delicious. It tastes like freaking candy, and they're going to want to eat it, right? So there's chemicals involved in that toothpaste, and you do consume it, whether you try to spit it out or not, and you are rubbing it into your gums, which have an open wound from gingivitis. So as an awareness, I just think all over, if you want to live healthy, live long, move around, and not have somebody take care of you. Take care of yourself the best that you can while you're here. Otherwise, don't be complaining if you've got this problem, this problem, this problem. As we all know, most things are preventable. Most cancers are preventable. Most ailments are preventable. So that's my opinion. You do you, but you want to live well, live happy, live healthy. Be conscientious, right? And be nice to our earth, because this is where we live, and we're responsible for this too, right? And chemicals get into the earth as well. I mean, think of Aaron Brockovich, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big, fun story. I mean, that's intense, and it's all about chemicals. I mean, come on, people, be aware, have some accountability.
Well, and it starts with you, like if we think of the whole world and the earth and everything, but it really starts personally. And you gave some amazing tips there and really opened my eyes onto like thinking about all these things, like that we're consuming in one way or another. And that's really something to think about. And like you said, floss, I always just thought floss was floss too.
Right?
It's just a string,
Floss.
right? Who thought that there was 6+ chemicals in it?
I know, right? It was just floss.
Yeah.
No, it's the devil. I'm just kidding. Not floss itself. A good quality floss is not. It's most beneficial.
That could have been breaking news there.
That's
Yes.
right.
Headline: Hygienist says floss is the devil.
Don't quote me, okay? Don't quote me. Take that out. Zip.
Yeah. We'll edit that one. No.
Patients are like, yes, I knew it.
Right. No,
Yeah.
that's one of those quotes that people take out of context. And
Mhm.
that's where we get into trouble. So we will keep that with the context of the chemicals. It's not floss that's the devil, it's the chemicals.
Yes, the chemicals.
Awesome.
And the bad floss you guys are using.
There you go. Well, that leads me right into your passion project, your Get Mouthy. So tell us how Get Mouthy got started. Tell us what it is and tell us how we can get involved with Get Mouthy.
Well, you know what? There's a lead up story with me. I can probably keep you here for like hours. So you're like, oh, here we go. But, Get Mouthy was something that I started to assist with a nonprofit organization that I started as well, which is called the Dental Oral Care Project. But I have this Get Mouthy, and I'm a little bit of a backwards entrepreneur. I came with the name first because I thought Get Mouthy would be a perfect name for a company that I own. And then I decided to come up with the logo. And then one day I am sitting around with a girlfriend. We're having a play date. Well, let me just step back one quick story. I really thought initially when I was putting together a dental subscription box, I was going to reach out to some of the contacts I had made with the influencers that we know. So I had this nonprofit looking for a way to help support it, right? And I just thought of having this box and like a Bark box, like an Ipsy box, and again reaching out to the conventional products that we all know, right? But that's where my self-awareness came. My self-awareness came from all these chemicals, all these plastics, and I decided at that moment I could not contribute to that, right? And that is something in my Clifton strengths, which is fun because we really dig deep. When my top 10 is beliefs, when I believe in something, like that's how I lead. Like I would be really bad in business if I just had to be like, that hardcore, do or die, black and white. No, like I really became conscientious about the earth. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't contribute to that hot mess. So I'm going to still move forward with my box, but we're going to make it eco-friendly. So I still have the name for it, right? Because I still had Get Mouthy, because I had this idea. I'm like, oh, Get Mouthy, and the logo. So I had those. So as I'm talking about the box and we're talking about things with this girl, as we're having a play date with our children, we had talked about when we were younger. When we were younger, we had our mouth washed out with soap for being sassy with our mothers. And I had it done. I did. And I only said so to my sister when my mother hated that word so, or however I said in context. And I remember my butt being pulled out of the bathroom and had my, into hers and having my mouth washed out with soap. So anyhow, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is genius. This is genius. I want to have a tooth soap for my Get Mouthy box, because again, we can design this to be completely eco-friendly, to be, fully sustainable. And, it's going to be an all natural product. And it is made here in the US. So I did find somebody who makes this tooth soap product for me. So my Get Mouthy box is fully sustainable, and that's how it's designed to be eco-friendly. What I love about the tooth soap is that it is chemical-free and it's vegan. And it's fully sustainable because, well, it's soap, right? Just, you brush with it and that's it. However, it has the main ingredient is coconut oil. Now, I'm a dental person. Dental people, we love fluoride. We absolutely love fluoride. We want to fluoridate everything, and we believe in fluoride. And I know I'm not a doctor, so people can come back and be like, blah, 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 be kind of like, get me with me. But I've done some research about fluoridation as well and how it uptakes and stuff like that to be smart about it. And also, my box isn't for the dental person necessarily. It is for the consumer, the public. And my avatar of that avatar, her name's Chloe, is my avatar. She's conscientious about, again, chemicals. So she's looking for something that's a fluoride-free concept, but coconut oil contains fluorine naturally, which I absolutely love that. And upon my research about coconut oil, I do believe strongly in the benefits of it. And I think naturally, absolutely, it is an acceptable dentifrice. Coconut oil containing fluorine naturally, it doesn't absorb into the enamel like fluoride, which is a compound. And it also needs plaque for that negative ion to uptake, right? So when you're brushing your teeth and everything, where's the plaque for that fluoride, blah, blah, blah. Like, again, we can debate that. But with fluorine, once it's in your body, because you're going to consume some of it regardless, we always do with our toothpaste. That's why we should be using traditional toothpaste, because of the chemicals. But it's in your saliva, and that's where it starts to remineralize your tooth naturally. And it also is antibacterial, so it kills the S mutant that is involved with tooth decay. It's antifungal as well. So I think of these infants or even the elderly with appliances that have to deal with thrush sometimes. So coconut oil, I think, is a wonderful medicament, and again, a very acceptable, dentifrice to use. And that's what my soap is made out of, primarily. And it also has clove and mint are the flavors. And I am working with my maker to have some other, different flavors, because I've listened to some feedback. And again, people want it to taste like freaking candy. And I'm sorry, people, there's a reason why things taste so delicious. It's because of chemicals. Like even Hershey's chocolate. And chocolate, it's in that too. Like, it tastes delicious, I know, but there's a reason. And in my product, there is no chemical. So it's good for you, because what you put in your mouth matters.
I love it. I love that it's, and so much easier probably to travel with and to just have in your house. And then your box is a subscription. So, right. So like you sign up and then you get it repetitively when you need it, right?
It is designed to be that way. Yes.
Awesome.
Just so people can imagine, like when you're saying dental soap, what does it look like? Is it a squirty bottle? Is it a bar of soap? What do people get?
Okay. So right now it is designed to be an initial box. So you're going to receive a box. So that way you have your travel tube, because if you travel, your toothbrush has to be clean, right? So it comes with a travel tube, but it is bamboo. So bamboo is a wonderful resource. It's plentiful. And it's fully, again, compostable. So we love bamboo. So you have a travel tube, you have your toothbrush, you have a little holder. So that way on your countertop, you got a little holder for it, because it's got to go somewhere, right? And then also there's going to be a reusable floss container with my cute little logo on it. And inside of that is going to be dental floss. Hopefully you use it, because it's like 200 yards. So it's a very generous amount. I say it's probably a lifetime, because people don't floss, though they should, but they should have it, as a subscription. So it should not be building up. If it is, you're not flossing regularly. But anyhow, the floss it's bamboo and charcoal. That's it. So I'm like, you can floss on the go. I do that. I floss on the go. It's a stoplight. I'll floss, especially near the areas I need to floss. So even like after lunch, I got like Panera's, I got bagels, like a poppy seed in there, and I got to floss it out. Just throw it out your window, because it is fully biodegradable, because it's bamboo and charcoal, has a little bit of grit to it. So it still gets in between those tight contacts, but it's also gonna be able to pull, some dental, pull out plaque. And then last but not least, as you asked, is this dental soap. So I have it designed to be in its own little bamboo soap dish. So it has a lid that comes off, and it's aerated at the bottom, and it's bamboo. But the tooth soap itself is a 1x2 bar. And how you use it is you get your toothbrush head wet, and then you just rub it on the top of the soap, and it foams up really nice. And that's what I love about this product versus a lot of the other, earth-friendly, eco-friendly toothpaste alternatives. Is some of them are like those. They remind me of Altoid candies, right? They're bits that you have to chew, and they're crunchy, chewy bits like Altoids. And I like foam. I don't know. I want to be like a rabid animal when I brush my teeth, and it just is what it is, right? So I like that, and that's what this is. And I mean, you don't have to scrub crazy, but it's a really nice foam, and it cleans well, and it's all natural, and that's what comes in the box. And as a subscription, yes, like your toothbrush comes every 2 months, because that's just, it should come more frequent, but 2 months is good. But the soap itself does last a while. I mean, you can push it almost, 9 months, believe it or not. So I know, right? And then the floss, like I said, like those are designed to be replenished every 6 months. But the floss, like I said, people don't floss. Like, you know what? We all know that. So it's probably a lifetime supply, but you should have to you should need to use that floss more often. but that's what you get. And these are dental people too. So we can always touch base that I have that I've launched at EcoSmiles Dentistry, my consulting business, where we want to green up the operatories too. So we don't need to take too much time. But I mean, these are dental people, right, that are listening.
Yep.
And you're practicing dentistry. And when you're practicing dentistry, you need to be conscientious of rotting out the planet, right? You're decaying out the planet by trying to prevent tooth decay. So also in our dental offices, there's things that we can do to reduce our carbon footprint, but it also increases profitability. Because we know as dentists, the bottom line is you want profitability, right? I mean, we can care about the earth, but they want profitability too. And actually, you know what? You are rewarded by going green. I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, you can reduce costs in so many ways. So I want to encourage that to all your listeners as well. Quick plug.
Yeah, no, that's a very big, important point. And just briefly, if you could, how do you deal with the plastics in a dental office?
Well, first of all, let's go back old school, where you don't have to have single-use disposable things for everything. Your prophy angle, for the love of God, why can't we just autoclave those? I mean, that's what we did when I first got into dentistry, and same thing with the prophy paste. So just some basic things like that. I mean, let's go back and reuse things and not get these disposable. I mean, convenience is ridiculous. You're plugging up the earth by doing that, and they cost money, as well. All these barriers too is absolutely ridiculous. It blows my mind, all of these plastic barriers. So check yourself. If you're listening to this right now and you have your operatories plastic up, next time you go to the doctor, next time you go to your proctologist, you're getting a mammogram, your OBGYN, next time you go look around, they don't have plastic on everything. And check yourself in your dental offices. I'm using that composite gun all the time. That's not plastic. We spray it, we wipe it, and we go. But yet you're worried about the freaking back of the chair, right? That somebody's sitting on, just like they did at the movie theater or the airplane or, anywhere else. So remove these plastic barriers. They are not needed. I truly 100%, they are not required. In any state, anywhere, do you need to put a bag on your x-ray machine? Wipe it down. Be conscientious of what you're touching. Practice infection control. But let's not barrier just ridiculous things, because in our mind, I don't know, it just becomes habit like anything else. But it's not like, just wipe it down, clean it, wipe it down, be conscientious about that. But by removing those things, and again, we got to stop buying plastic, and that's where your money is. And then getting back to things that are autoclavable. Again, seriously, people,
Awesome.
Right? I can keep going.
Oh no,
it's cheaper to recycle than it is to pick up your trash. Because remember, trash, you're renting space. You gotta pay somebody to come and take your garbage. Mm-hmm. And you gotta pay someone to do that. And it has to go somewhere because they paid for land to throw it with other people's garbage. But recycling, there's an end user. Somebody wants your cardboard. They do. So to save all your cardboard boxes from your instrument, like your orders, order less. That's emissions, right? Order less, bigger boxes, but cardboard, there is an end result for that. So just switch that out by 50%. You can reduce your hauling costs. So again, you're saving money, and then you're giving people something that they want. People do want cardboard, believe it or not. And it's very simple, and it helps clean up the earth. And to recycle things like that, it is better emissions as well. You don't want to buy more paper. Even though people think, oh, it's trees. No, you got machinery that runs this stuff that makes it happen. That tree leaf just does not fly off, and then 500 of them stack on each other nicely into a ream of paper, and they're at Staples. That's not how this works, people. You've got trucks plowing this crap down, and you've got trucks hauling this crap, and then you've got machinery that has to shred it and make it and pack it just for a little bitty piece of paper so you can write a note on it or copy it and then crumble it up and throw it away. There's so many other ways, right? So there's involved, right? Now I'm on my soapbox. Now. Be kind to the earth, because I want to go to the ocean and not swim around your plastic crap. Okay.
And that sums it up perfectly. You see, I knew we would circle back to your love of the ocean. So there we go.
There you go.
Well,
I love it.
I think we're talking about all things green in this conversation, and we are the Mint Door, and we thought a long time when we were choosing what color was our door going to be. So Lynda, if you had a door that could be painted in any color, what color would you paint your door?
Oh, my door would be yellow. Absolutely. It would be yellow. There's nothing more attractive than the bright yellow door that just, is like pizzazz and like, welcome. Come and get yourself a cocktail and prop your feet up. There's going to be some good conversation over the coffee table.
Oh,
absolutely. Come on in.
I love it.
That's a great answer.
And thank you for wearing your yellow glasses. Yes. So the yellow is a great color. I love it. Awesome. So, if you look back in your life, maybe you could let us know or think about something that unexpectedly happened that really changed your trajectory.
Oh my gosh, that's so quick. I have other like little things that can apply. And it's funny you asked that question because I was thinking about that today, that I am one of those people. There are little bits and pieces. But ultimately, when I was younger, I wanted to be on air, right? I wanted to be an on-air personality. I think it was Joan Hart or Mary Hart, somebody like that was like on Entertainment Tonight. Or, I'm like, oh, I want to be that person. So I had enrolled in Ohio University because they have a great broadcast, school. So our journalism school. So I wanted to go into broadcast, journalism, being an on-air personality. And so right out of high school, it's the summer between high school. And my next door neighbor, so at this point, we kind of lived like in a condo, kind of, concept. My parents kind of separated, but they got back together, blah, blah, blah. So in this condo, but anyhow, the guy had moved in next door and he's a dentist. Never met him before. And he was having packages delivered to his house for his new office he was opening. And he was at home. So UPS had to deliver the package to my house. So I say that doorbell completely changed the trajectory of my life because UPS rang the doorbell. I answered the door because, I'm 18. I just graduated high school. It's summertime. I'm probably laying on the couch watching soap operas, and I answer the door and here's this box from Henry Schein. I remember, it was probably like Sullivan Schein or something back then. But then I met my neighbor that night. And that totally changed. Like I can go in, ultimately at the end of the day, he probably wanted in my pants because he was like one of those guys and he was not attractive, or he might have, I don't know, because I was young and he was a dentist. But anyhow, I just worked for him. He's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm going to school, blah, blah, blah. And I would just start working with him. One thing led to another. I enjoyed it. I enjoy the concept of dentistry and making changes. And I made that my career. And had I not accepted that package or had that doorbell not rang, I would have done something completely different. I could have been the next Oprah. So tit for tat, I don't know which ended up better, but I'm here and I'm happy and I liked it. And there's your answer to the question.
Well, there's still time. You can still be the next Oprah.
I'm making my way.
That's right.
I'm making my way.
That's right.
Got it.
That is so cool. The doorbell. That's a wonderful story. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, and it goes with your door too. See,
yes.
My doorbell and my big yellow door.
There you go.
Awesome.
One day, like this image just came to my head that we need to create a graphic of all the people that were on our podcast and what color doors they chose.
Yes, that's a good idea.
All in a line, and we could see what everybody's doors were. So I think you're the first person with a yellow door. Though,
yeah, you are. You're the first person to say yellow.
Yeah, first person with that yellow door. Now, listening to you talk, it's so obvious you are a high achiever and you're a busy woman and you're pursuing dreams and goals. And when we do that, like generally as a population, it's easy to forget the little things in our days that bring you joy. We know that your daughter is one of your biggest joys in your life, but what's another small thing that would bring you joy that maybe we don't know about you?
I'm a little bit of an introvert. So what brings me joy is that first cup of coffee in the morning when nobody is awake. And though I told you I'm not a morning person, I've never been a morning person, and I still struggle to this day to become a morning person. But there's nothing better than that perfect silence, no matter where I'm at. I enjoy it more when we are up at the lake, where we're, at our campground and, it's outside and it's gorgeous. But nonetheless, right, it is quiet and I have the coffee just the way that I want it. And it's peaceful and it doesn't matter what I do, but I love that. That's like totally, it's quiet time. Believe it or not, I like the quiet time. And then you know what? I'm in my thoughts.
So, I love that picture.
It's
a special time.
Yes.
I wish I could get up earlier though, so I can enjoy it more. Sometimes I forget like freaking 15 minutes and I'm chugging that coffee down and doing a quick search on social media. I don't know, like I wish I could get up a little bit earlier. So I have like an hour or so where I can read a book and I can journal and manifest. No, I just got time to enjoy that cup of coffee. It's still special.
Well, you're being authentically you, and that's what matters, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
There's no other way. I just got to accept it the way it is.
That's right. This has been just a joyful experience having you on. And I'm sure our listeners are curious, how can they find you if they're interested in what you do, if they're interested in the box, if they're interested in turning their offices into more eco-friendly, and they just want to reach out to you? How can they find you?
Well, I'm doing my best as a one-woman show, right? A one-person show as an entrepreneur and everything else to make myself very visible. So Lynda Sherman, and remember my name's with a Y, Lynda. So of course you can find me at www.lyndasherman.com, so got to have that domain. So you can find me there, and there is a contact us button. So press that button and put your your contact info in, what you like, to know. That would be great. There's some social media out there. Of course I do. So get Mouthy Box, has its social media pages out there. EcoSmiles Dentistry is getting its social media pages out there. Of course, I've been on social media because that's just what we do. We've been like that for a decade. So Lynda Sherman again's my name. So there's, ways to, but the easiest is just to probably get on lyndasherman.com, because then you can shoot me an email and I'll get it and we can go from there.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for making it easy. That's fantastic. We will make sure and have the links in the show notes. So if you're driving while you're listening to this, just hop on the show notes afterwards and find Lynda.
Yeah, because even like to get Mouthy Boxes on the lyndasherman.com too. So that's like a one for all, stop shop. It's like Buc-ee's. I don't know. Isn't that one stop for shop?
I love it. Oh, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and spreading more of your bright yellow light into the universe. We enjoyed this conversation, and we can't wait to see what 2023 brings for you.
I know. Just wait till the retreat, because I got something up my sleeve. I love you ladies too. You know how much I enjoy you both. I mean, you're such dear friends to me. So thanks for just hanging out and shooting the shit this afternoon. I mean, that's really it. I mean, I know it's business, but at the end of the day, what a just joyful conversation. And to see you guys, it's a pleasure always, right, to be in each other's company. So thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we hope that you today, as our listeners, found a little bit of encouragement on the podcast with Lynda, and know that we adore you. So we hope to see you on the next episode of the Mint Door podcast. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.